Hey guys, as the new year begins and we move into the next decade, I wanted to make a video looking at all the important moments for the last decade for Fiat Chrysler Automobiles. This will sort of be a recap and we'll go year by year taking a look at the major events such as car releases, car discontinuations, mergers, and all that sort of thing. I'm also going to put a slide with some text at the end of each year just recapping what happened so you can get a visual. Obviously, I can't put everything into a 10 to 15 minute video, but I've tried to include lots of interesting and key moments. Most of the focus is on North America, where most of my viewers, as well as myself, are living, and a lot of brands that are going to have some focus are going to be Ram, Dodge, and Chrysler. Also, as I was editing the video and got into the later stages, I realized it was going to be way too long to have just one video for everything, so I'm going to split it up into two parts. The first part is today's video from 2010 to 2015, and the second part is going to be a future video from 2016 to 2020. So, let's begin. Before we take a look at each year, the most notable thing that happened was the acquisition of Chrysler. Chrysler had filed for bankruptcy on April 30th, 2009, so the United Auto Workers Pension Fund, Fiat, and the US and Canadian governments were the principal owners, and Fiat initially had a 20% stake in the company. The US federal government had provided $8 billion of financing at a 21% rate, and that would end up costing the US taxpayer $1.3 billion when it was all said and done. By January 2012, Fiat's equity stake in Chrysler grew to 58.5%, and on January 21st of 2014, they acquired the remaining 41.5% of Chrysler, so at this point, Chrysler became a wholly owned subsidiary of Fiat. Fiat and Chrysler merged to become FCA on October 12, 2014, and the official name change took place on December 16, 2014 to FCA US LLC. In the end, the total cost of this acquisition for Fiat was $4.9 billion plus an extra $5.5 billion pension liability. So now let's go back to 2010 and start the year-by-year recap. So under CEO Sergio Marchionne, the decade was started with a new system of manufacturing quality called World Class Manufacturing, or WCM, which was an attempt to improve quality and luxury in many products. Although the Chrysler Sebring was refreshed in 2010, it was rebadged as the Chrysler 200. The JS platform and body which was used for the Sebring was kept, but almost everything else was re-engineered, such as new body panels, grille, front and rear lights, the interior, and the powertrain. Chrysler wanted to use the 200 nameplate to try to distance itself from the Sebring's poor quality issues, and also help consumers think of the 200 as a younger brother to the very successful flagship Chrysler 300 sedan. The 2010 Jeep Grand Cherokee would become the most awarded SUV ever. Another strategy of Chrysler was to separate all the individual brands, Ram, Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler, and SRT, so each of them could focus on their own identity. The Jeep Commander would get discontinued after a short life from 2006 to 2010. It sold over 217,000 units, but Marchionne didn't see it as a success, saying, quote, "That vehicle was unfit for human consumption. We sold some, but I don't know why people bought them," end quote. The PT Cruiser also had its production end in July of 2010. Although many made fun of the car and its looks, it did sell over 1.35 million units worldwide. Mopar also introduced the first one of 10 Mopar editions, the Challenger 10, with just 500 built for the US and another 100 for Canada. These Mopar editions have a black and Mopar blue theme, and each vehicle gets special treatment and limited edition production. "2011 was a bigger year for Chrysler with many new vehicle releases and cancellations. The new 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 powertrain arrived for many 2011 models, and this would become the V6 engine for many Chrysler vehicles across all the platforms. The replacement for the Commander, the third-generation Dodge Durango, entered production in late 2010 and 2011 models arrived soon after. This third-gen Durango was built alongside the new WK2 Jeep Grand Cherokee platform at the Jefferson North Assembly Plant in Detroit, and it shared many parts such as powertrain and chassis with the Grand Cherokee. The LX platform got new models, so a new second-generation Dodge Charger with SE, SXT, and RT models, a second-gen Chrysler 300 that got a facelift, and a Dodge Challenger SRT8 Inaugural Edition, where the world first saw the 392 6.4-liter V8 Hemi engine for the first time in a production car. Europe also got a rebadged 300 in the form of a Lancia Thema as Lancia's new flagship vehicle. The Dodge Caliber production also ended on November 23, 2011, with the final model year being 2012. The third generation Dakota midsize pickup was also discontinued, with the last truck being built on August 23, 2011, ending the long 25-year life of the truck. While it once was a very popular truck, selling hundreds of thousands per year, it saw its sales fall by 90% from 2002 to 2010, and there were problems, such as the base models being priced higher than the base model Ram 1500s, which were bigger and more capable. The Dodge Grand Caravan and Chrysler Town & Country also received a refresh mid-cycle, with a restyled exterior and interior, improved safety features, the new 3.6-liter V6, retuned suspension, and many other upgrades. The 2011 Mopar edition was a Charger 11 version with 1,000 total units. 2012 saw the Chrysler 300 and Dodge Charger SRT8 models join the existing Challenger SRT8, all with a 392 Hemi. The limited production Super B platform was brought back for the Charger, as well as a new ZF 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive for the V6 models. A couple other models bit the dust, like the Dodge Nitro and the Jeep Liberty. The Nitro was not selling well, and production was cut in late December of 2011, marking 2012 as the last model year for the fleet market only. A total of over 275,000 Nitros were sold worldwide from 2007 to 2012. The Jeep Liberty production would end on August 16, 2012, and the next generation would use the Jeep Cherokee nameplate instead. The successor for the Caliber would be the Dodge Dart, going on sale in June of 2012 as the 2013 model. This was a compact sedan based on the Alfa Romeo Giulietta platform. The Mopar 12 300 was released as well, limited to just 500 copies. There wasn't a whole lot going on in 2013, so I'll just show off some of the more limited edition models that were released around this time. The Charger got an SRT8 392 edition, with just 392 of those built, and the Daytona nameplate returned, giving the Charger some extra interior and exterior features. There were supposed to be 3,000 Daytonas produced in total, but the final production was actually 2,311 in Daytona Blue, Pitch Black, Bright White, and Billet Silver. The Mopar editions continued with the Mopar 13 Dart, and there were just 500 of those. And the 300 also got some special versions, like the Glacier and Motown edition. Early 2014 saw another staple in the Dodge lineup, the Avenger, being discontinued. This would be the last model year. The Chrysler 200 convertible was also cancelled. The Chrysler 200 did have a new refresh for their 2015 model, and that debuted in January 2014 at the North American International Auto Show in Detroit. It was totally changed inside and out and based on the Fiat compact platform, and offered in 4 trims: LX, Limited, S, and C. As for the 300, a refresh model was released ahead of the 2015 model year, but the 300 SRT was dropped from the US due to very low sales. Alfa Romeo launched the 4C and 4C Spider in North America, while the Jeep Cherokee KL and the Ram ProMaster van models were also launched. January 2014 also saw the RT all-wheel drive Charger models disappear, with 2014 being the last version offered, and there was an introduction of an all-wheel drive Charger Pursuit police car. The Mopar 14 vehicle this time around was once again a Challenger, with just 100 of them being sold. Another key moment was the release of FCA's 5-year plan, highlighting the future plans of the company from 2014 to 2018. The aim was to reposition Chrysler as a mainstream brand for North America, have Dodge focus on performance vehicles, push Alfa Romeo to be a premium brand to compete with other luxury cars like Mercedes-Benz and Audi, and turn Maserati into an ultra-luxury brand to compete with very high-end cars like Bentley or Rolls-Royce. SRT was merged back into Dodge, Fiat was becoming the mainstream brand for the rest of the world, and Ram was pretty much untouched. That 5-year plan outlined many things that were supposed to happen, but never did, such as a Dodge Dart SRT for 2016, a new Dodge Journey and Journey SRT for 2017, a new sedan and hatchback for 2018, and a new Chrysler 300 for 2018. 2015 was another big year for FCA with lots going on. Sergio Marchionne began negotiations with the president of the United Auto Workers, Dennis Williams, leading to some decisions that we'll cover a bit later on. There were tons of new vehicle releases as well. Dodge got deep into the horsepower game with the refreshed Charger and Challenger models. The Charger got the most notable changes, with a different front end that was more aerodynamic, and other changes to the interior, suspension, and brakes. The ZF 8-speed automatic transmission was now standard in these vehicles, and in many others across all the FCA brands. We also saw the SRT Hellcat released for both the Charger and the Challenger, with the 6.2-liter supercharged V8 Hemi making 707 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque. Fiat launched the 500X, Jeep released the Renegade, while Alfa announced the Giulia sedan, which began with a 2016 model. The Mopar 15 vehicle was once again a Dodge Charger, with only 50 being released. That's the end of this video, guys. Thanks for watching part 1, and make sure to follow along the channel for part 2, which will be released shortly. As always, make sure to like and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.